guys, welcome back to another Time to Work training video. Today we're going to talk about the basics of hose advancement. My name is Joe Arvigale, I got engineer Jake Otto with me today. Today we're going to go over the clamp slide, the knee walk, and backup man position, and the importance of his role throughout those two evolutions. We're running with the FD1 spec, key hose, and the 15-16 smoothbore nozzle. We're going to get into this clamp slide first.
Alright, so for the clamp slide, what we're going to do is we want to make sure that we have a straight section behind us. We want the ground to help us out, all that friction to go down into the ground. So I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to actually clamp the hose with my ankle. I'm going to get a nice bit out in front of me. I'm going to make sure it's enough to take my hand completely over the end. And then I want a gangster lean on my nozzle. And the reason I want that gangster lean is in case I lose control of it, all I got to do is hug it. I'll end up shutting the nozzle down. Barbagallo is going to be behind me on the nozzle. Anytime we go in, we see heat, fire, we're going to open the nozzle. And I'm going to flow for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds, right? Close it down. I've got lift, I've got cooling, got water coming down on top of me. I'm going to call back to my guy and I'm going to say, clamp slide, 10 feet. And then on my command, when I say forward, that's when we're going to... Clamp slide, 10 feet, forward. Stop. Clamp slide, 10 feet forward. Stop. So once I get it set up, get the hose clamped down, I'm going to make sure I've got this foot out in front of me, and I always want to make sure that it's perpendicular to the ground. I don't want to be out here in case something was to come down. You'll end up injuring your knee. Another good thing about this front foot is I can sound the floor out in front of me. Before I want to move forward, again, I'm going to call my commands. I'm going to pin this to my chest, and I'm just going to kick through and sound the floor as I go. Now, a lot of people, they're going to want to kick way out here, and you get very off balance. So as you move forward, just remember that whatever you want to do about half of it, and you'll stay in balance. Ready? Move. Stop. Move. Stop.
We're going to talk about the knee walk. Basically what this allows you to do is flow and move line. So you can make a push while continuing to flow, whether it be down a hallway or through an open space that you got the room for. The backup man's position, his role remains the same. So he will stay in the same position and feed line in the same manner that he would when we were in the clamp slide. The nozzleman's positioning of his body is going to change. So let's say you're in that good clamp slide position. You decide, I've come to a place where I feel like I can make a push, but I need to continue to flow water on this push to make a good fire attack. So I'm in my good clamp slide position, flowing water. What we're going to do is we're going to take this line and move it from the ground to my hip. So I'll take my right hand and I'll pin the line to the ground. From there, I'll take my knee, come to the side of it, and we'll pin it to my body as I ride up to my hip. From here, I want to create a little bit of a shelf in my hip, right? So I'll lean forward, pin it into my hip, and we're in this good triangle position like I talked about earlier. From here, what will happen is, backup man's in his position, I'm in my position, and I'll open the line, and we'll continue to flow. This whole evolution is based off of momentum. So when I go to move this line, I'll be in a good upward position, having my torso kind of standing straight up, and I'll go forward with it. Now I'll bring my other leg up, and go forward with it. And my other leg up, and go forward with it. That's why they call it the knee walk, because all you're doing is just kind of walking on your knees.
Alright, so notice as Joe's moving forward, he's able to really put his foot out in front of him and sound the floor. You always keep your foot in front of you, sounding the floor as you go. Remember, he's making a push on that very advanced fire. At this point, he's not going to stop flowing until the fire is out.
made that push, you know, a residential hallway, you've probably made that push down that hallway at that point and made your way to the fire room. Your knee walk's really for two things. It's like Engineer Al talked about, low manpower situation where you're gonna have to advance the line by yourself and flow at the same time. And you've made the decision that we're gonna make a push, but we cannot stop flowing because the fire is too advanced. So keep that in mind for the knee walk. Like I said, we showed it without a backup man to show you guys that it can be done by one person. But the backup man's functions and body mechanics are the exact same for the knee walk as they are for the clamp slide. Now we're going to talk about the backup man and his role in aiding the nozzleman. The backup man is going to serve two purposes. If you're a low staff company, what's going to happen is you're going to help your nozzleman advance hose, but you're also going to be chasing pink points. You're obviously helping advance hose with the nozzleman. And the other thing is you're going to keep an eye on conditions. So he sees the fire. He should be trying to be self-aware of what's going on around him. The backup man's back here though. I'm up in my position. I can see past, around, behind, up. So the guy back here needs to be watching out for him and making sure the egress is still good. So a good position for the backup man. You want that right knee up. That's your rear leg. Left leg down. I take my right arm and I brace it into my right leg. I have an underhand grip, and basically all that is doing is just holding the hose. Left hand comes out, I form a table. Everything with the nozzle forward stuff is built off a triangle. The guys over there who are much smarter than us basically discovered from his wrestling experience that triangle was the strongest body shape that he come up with for all this. So you're trying to keep a triangle shape throughout the body. And Jake, if you'll get off that hose for just 1 second so I can show them something. The backup man should be doing all the work for the nozzleman. So everything I do, I should be able to advance this line by myself for him. He's just going for a ride, okay? So the correct position for this, like I just said, is the right knee up, right arm braced into the leg, left leg down. When you move, it is not pulling with your arm because you'll tire yourself out. You want to use big muscle groups. So what you want to do is use that right leg and keep this locked to push the arm and the hose down the line. So when I move, and the nozzleman will call it, but when I move, I'm just kind of pinning my arm into my leg and my leg into my arm, and they're working as a unit, more so my leg, to push the line down towards the